Hey, this your girl, msyelladiva. I am bringing you another episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 19, Reunion Part 2. Okay. All right. I'll be glad when it's over. If you are new here, welcome. Okay. I'm sorry. And if you're returning, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. This your girl, msyelladiva. Who I'll be glad when this mess over with. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. Give me a thumbs up. Like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel and we will begin. Alright, so we still talking about Angela and Phaedra. I'm really tired of all of this stuff, okay? But we just gonna keep it going, okay? So Angela asking Porsha, why does she think that what's her name, Phaedra, is telling the truth when she lied on a cast member previously and got you caught up in it, okay? Porsha was like, well, this lie is real silly. She was just like, Marcus is talking about Junebug or Junior or something like that. She was just like, I just don't think that she said that this lie is real. It's real. I think it's real stupid. And so, but she said, well, Ansel was like, well, the person is real. The issue is real. Okay. So, where is the lie? And so Phaedra was like, I don't know these people. And so, Porsha was like, well, I don't believe that you did it to yourself, Angela, but she don't know who is behind this rumor. And so, Angela was like, yeah, well, what's her name? Phaedra, she said she's self-producing. So, she was like, yeah, because she said, because Charles, right? And so Phaedra was like, yeah, I met Charles, about 10 years ago. We hung out and all the other stuff. She was like, you don't know my husband. You don't know my husband. And everything you say is a lie. I know that's right. I know that's right. Yes. Let your church say amen, honey. Why the fuck you lying? Okay. All right. Right. I agree with you totally. You are a liar, Phaedra. So, she said, I haven't said anything, to no one about you. And so she was just like, people don't, she said, Angela was like, people don't know you. She said, not in the rooms that I'm in. And so then, she said, oh, your faves know about me. And so, Phaedra was like, She was like, I'm in the rooms that they winning Oscars and Emmys. That's the rooms I'm in, and they don't know you. And then Angela was like, well, you breaking into them rooms. You breaking into them rooms. You breaking into them rooms, okay? And so, Phaedra was like, so now I'm a robber? She said, no, you are a liar. Ooh. Okay. Yes, you are a liar, honey. Give me this again. Why the fuck you lying? Okay. And the truth ain't in you, honey. You a liar and the truth ain't in you. Anyway, Phaedra calls her brother. I don't know why. He said he don't know no lady named Kim. Whatever. Who cares? So, then Angela said that you sent somebody to threaten her because apparently she was at some kind of game or whatever. And somebody introduced herself to Angela, and then she said that, I'm a friend of Phaedra and I'm the one with the hands. Drew said, well, you are the godfather, so you may be putting hits on people. And Phaedra was like, nah, I'm not doing that. Whatever, who cares? Ain't nobody fighting you, Angela, you big ass girl. So Andy asked Cynthia, and so first of all, Cynthia, I don't like your makeup. Okay, I don't like your makeup. Your makeup look hit. Okay, I like that couch that you sitting on. I like Phaedra's makeup. I don't like Phaedra, but I do like her makeup, and definitely don't like her outfit, but I do like her makeup. And Portia's makeup was good, but your makeup, I don't know who did your makeup and your wig but that was not cute. I think you just, it was like, okay, well, maybe they hurried you out there so you couldn't really do what you needed to do, because that couch was looking real empty. So maybe that's it. But I didn't like your makeup, and Cynthia, you need to do better. Anyway, so but Cynthia said, well, if Angela did it, then this is the biggest, scandal or spectacle or whatever, in Real Housewives history. Whatever. Whatever, Cynthia. So then he asked Kelly, and Angela was like, well, Phaedra said that you, Kelly, was behind it because you made the guest list. And so then Angela said, and she said, also, Phaedra, you gave me the information on Marcus, where he worked at, what his first and last name is, and everything like that. And so she said, well, Phaedra was like, well, he introduced himself. I guess he introduced himself with his first and last name. But his first and last name and where he worked at, okay? So Andy was like, let's move on. He was like, we ain't gonna settle this good, because I was tired of it anyway. So the viewer question asked that they don't believe that Angela is 43. Angela pull out her birth certificate, okay? Her birth certificate, okay? She was born in 1981. Hey, hey, hey. Cool with me. She pulled out her birth certificate, okay? Then Andy asked Phaedra that, she said that you are, what she said, you are the youngest old person or something like that. And so Angela was like, listen, if I'm 53, you 63, okay? She said, and you looked old on those when you got on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, you look older than, me. And so Phaedra couldn't say nothing because she did look old. And she look old now, as far as I'm concerned. I don't care how much makeup and how much plastic surgery you get. You still look old to me. And you younger than me, okay? Okay. You ain't but a few years younger than me, but you younger than me, okay? So, it is what it is. Well, anyway, and the viewer chimes in and says that you could be in perimenopause, Angela. And Angela said, I think I am in perimenopause, and everybody was like, it's fine, it's fine. And then Porsha was like, everybody gotta go through it, honey. I thought you probably in it, honey. Cause you older than Angela, okay? You and Shamea are probably in it, okay? Okay. But they say, perimenopause, goes up to 36, okay? So, hey, you probably in it, okay? You and Shamea. Yeah, so Angela said, also, they asked about the properties. Angela said we had to let them properties go. They were costing us a fortune. And so she was like, and then when I lost my mom, suddenly she was like, it was the end. We had to just let them properties go. And I don't blame her. And so, apparently she lost her mom suddenly. It was, and she was supposed to be on the show to, talk about her bipolar because she was, I guess, diagnosed with bipolar. So she was going to talk about her bipolarism, but she has since left this earth. God rest her soul. Anyway, so another viewer question saying that Angela, do you feel like Drew had your back because she let the ladies go at you at the Cynthia's Bailey Q, and she was over there in the corner singing Negro spirituals, and they showed that beautiful being footage of what she was doing. She was in confessional singing old Negro spirituals, and she is over there in the corner talking about I can't be a part of that. Okay, so Angela said Drew did not have my back. She ain't had my back during the Bailey Q, and she didn't have my back during the finale, because they were coming at her in the finale too, and she ain't have her back. So Drew was like, I'm sorry if I ain't have your back. I've been going through a lot, with this divorce and everything like that. So we'll see if she forgive her or not. All right. Anyway, Andy asked Phaedra why she skipped the Married to Medicine reunion, but she's here. And so Phaedra was like, well, they didn't want me there, and I'm originally a housewife. Girl, you didn't belong there, okay? You did not belong there. You wasn't married to no kind of medicine, or you wasn't even dating somebody who was in medicine, okay? You dating this Sheck dude. So you didn't belong there. You were trying to just get back on Bravo any way you could. And you used them so you can get back on Housewives. That's what you did. Okay? And I didn't like none of that. And then you ain't bring nothing to the damn show. You ain't bring nothing to the damn show. And then you left. And then you talk about them like dogs. That they mean girls and stuff like that, and you go on to Housewives and you be the mean girl. What the fuck is that? I ain't like none of that. I don't understand what it is that people are gung-ho about Phaedra for. I don't understand. I do think she's a good mama. But other than that, I don't see no redeeming qualities of her. She a liar. She telling lies on people. She's a liar. Anyway, I had to just let that go. Because I love Married to Medicine. Okay, and once they brought her on there, I was like, what the fuck is they bringing her on there for? And then she trying to think that she the smartest person in the room. These bitches they doctors. Okay, you ain't the smartest person in the room. You may be on the Real Housewife, but you ain't the smartest person in the room on Married to Medicine. No, ma'am, Pam. Okay. Anyway, let me get this up. This gonna get too long. Okay. Anyway, so Andy asked Kelly about her nicknames, about how short ass Phaedra was giving short ass Kelly nicknames, okay? And so she called her Strawberry Shortcake, she called her Garden Gnome, Tinkerbell, everything, okay? Now short ass Phaedra did not need to even comment on short ass Kelly, because she is probably about 1 inch taller than Kelly. 1 inch, okay? So Kelly, as Kelly is, she was like, listen, I was the most fashionable garden on Strawberry Shortcake there is. I don't think that was the answer, but that's fine, Kelly. I give you a pass on that. So what else? So Phaedra, Andy said, Phaedra, you were like a big sister to Britt. And so Phaedra was like, well, I saw that she was self-sabotaging and making enemies out of people. She was like, I was just trying to let her know that you can't be making enemies, especially since you knew you got to, be friends with everybody. And so Porsha was like, I ain't never seen an OG housewife give that advice. Who is the OG? Ain't no OGs on here. Ain't no OGs on here. Okay. Who is the OG? Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Nene give the advice? Did Sheree? Did Kim? Did Sean Snow? Lisa Wu? Oh. They ain't get that advice? Well, then she ain't the OG. Okay, moving on. Okay. I don't know about no OGs over here. Okay. Shamea said, well, Britt, when I was talking to her, she was talking about you, Porsha, and you, Phaedra, like a dog. Okay, so she was over there, being real nice and sweet to y'all in y'all face. But when she came to me and Kelly, she was talking about y'all like a dog, because Kelly was co-signing. It's like, yeah, she was talking about like y'all like dogs. Hey, so they were like, whatever. So Phaedra, so the viewer question brings up how Shamea got over the thing that Phaedra said about this here. Okay, about she doing that with Todd and Candy. And so Phaedra was like, well, I thought we were good. She was like, but when you go to interviews, you basically slam me and things like that. And she said, I thought we were on a good page. And so Shamea was like, well, now we are. She said, but what she say? But you said that you and Candy had a falling out. And so, but you didn't address me personally. And so Phaedra was like, well, why didn't you say something? She said, I apologize, and, but you said that you didn't believe it and it was laughable anyway. But what I want to know is, I need Phaedra to answer this question for me. Was it the truth, or did you make it up? That's my question to Phaedra. Okay, was it the truth? Okay, or did you make it up? Okay, I don't know. See, that's my problem. If you gonna apologize, I need for you to say, I apologize because it wasn't the truth. I just made it up, or I just heard it from somebody, but it wasn't the truth. See, I just need to know if it's the truth or not. Okay. Did you make it up or what? Okay. That's what I need to know. Don't apologize. I need you to first find out. I need you to first tell it if it's the truth or not. Okay, and we know it's not. Well, we know it's not the truth because Shamea said it's not the truth. But I need for you to know what is not the truth, and I just heard it from somebody or something. They. So, but she said, well, you said it was laughable, and that no one believed it. And Shamea was like, I'm always gonna dumb down, what's going on. And Cynthia was like, well, that's your problem. If it bothers you, then it bothers you, and you need to say it bothers you. And that is the God's honest truth. You need to say it's bothering you, because if you think you're gonna apologize, then you gonna let it go. But if you're gonna apologize and then still talk about shit on the interviews, then you ain't really let it go. And I think that's the same thing with Porsha's absence at your wedding. You say it, you let it go, but if you still commenting on it and fussing about it in interviews, then you ain't let it go. Anyway, so Phaedra said, I apologize to you, and I'm like, apologize for what? That's my question. Apologize for what? Okay. And then, but anyway, so Shamea said, I accept your apology. Whatever. Anyway, so they take a break. So they go in the back and they take their little dresses off and things like that. Gerald, I don't know why Gerald is not there. He should have been there. But Gerald FaceTimes what's her name? Shamea. He sends flowers to her. Great. Charles and Angela is dancing in the hallways, dancing. Where my Charles is like, where my haters at? Where my haters at? I love Charles, and I know Charles love Angela. So y'all can't talk to me about Charles and Angela, okay? Because I know the Cleveland of Charles. Nah, he love him some Angela, even though he be talking shit, cash shit on Angela. But I know he love her. He got her back. Okay. So Dennis show up. Dennis okay, so um um what's her name? Porsha didn't take off her top, but she took off her bottom. And so he said, you look like the Queen of Zelda. Cause she had on that gold top. He said, you look like the Queen of Zelda. Um Shamea goes to Kelly's room, and so Shamea talking about why Britt is not here. You stirred up all that shit, and now you're not here to answer for it. And she said that she told Porsha about the alliance, and Kelly was like, Portia's energy is off. She said her foot was shaking the whole time. She was like, her energy is off. So anyway, they go back to the stage. Andy said, I got a statement from Britt and Kenya. Kenya is apologizing. And Britt said the photo's not her. Okay, moving on. All right, so, but Andy said, Britt came on Watch What Happens Live, and she said that Kenya had it out for her the whole season. And he was like, did anybody see that? And everybody said no. Yes, no. No, okay? No, 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 okay? Yeah, because they didn't. I mean, she wasn't coming after her. Britt was coming after Kenya by any means necessary. Anyway, viewer question, asked Cynthia, why did you have so much grace for Britt and not for Kenya? And Cynthia was like, I did have grace for Kenya. She said, I didn't agree with Kenya's choice, but I did have grace for her. She said, but I'm never going to compromise my integrity to support anyone, not even my child. Hey, I got you. Kenya said that, no, Porsha said that Kenya said that Drew sent her the pictures. Drew said, no, she got those pictures from private investigator. And so Porsha was like, I was disappointed and pissed at Kenya as well. And so Cynthia was like, well, I hadn't talked to Kenya since this all happened. And she was just like, and she's not taking my calls or anything like that. So she was like, so Sweet 16 wasn't so sweet for me. I got you. You know. Oh, woo, woo, woo. Cynthia, woo, woo, woo. Okay. Anyway, they show Shamea's montage. Andy asked how Shiloh's doing. She say she doing amazing. She had a couple more surgeries, some ear tubes, and stuff like that. But she was like, now she's hearing better. Ear tubes is just to flush the the drainage into her canal. Well, maybe she was hearing better because she doesn't have a lot of fluid on her ears. Maybe that's what it is. Because I was just like, now if she get a cochlear implant, okay, then she would be hearing better. Okay, but I'm telling you, I'm a nurse, and call me Shamea, call me. I'm private duty. I listen. Okay, I call me. I take it. I take good care of your child, honey. And I know Dr. Harmon. Okay, go call me, girl. Call me. We can work this out. Anyway, then a viewer question chimes in about Shamea giving her uh her husband a son, even though she got fertility issues. And so she said, Shamea said, "Well, Gerald gives to me all the time, so I need to give this to him." Okay, okay. Somebody send this Shamea. Okay. Anyway, so another viewer question asked, she always comparing herself to Drew. And so she was just like, I don't compare myself to Drew. But she called me a lapdog, so I said some shady stuff about her song. And so she said, but then she was like, well, you said I was a liar. And she said, but I do speak 5 different languages. And so she pulled out this book of love languages. And so Porsha was like, you speak those type of languages, love languages. Mm-hmm, yeah. Ding, ding. Ding, ding. Okay, yes. You speak those type of languages. Yeah. Ding, ding. And so, Shamea was like, I read the book already. I read the book. And so Kelly was like, give me the book, honey. She said, cause I need to find love too. So you give me the book. So, then they go on about Drew saying how she didn't Shamea didn't hit the notes. And so Shamea was like, I had a bad day, but she was like, but you are a liar. So Drew was like, prove it. So then she pulled out this bag. She pulled out this bag out of her purse, out of her, and so it's a martini glass purse. And so she was just like, you said this was a Judith Lever bags, but it was from Akira or something like that. And so they showed the pictures back and forth, and she was like, this bag costs $130. The Judith Lever bag costs like $7,000. And so she was just like, so you ain't had that expensive bag. But since the show aired, Drew put out her receipt on her Judith Lever bag, and Judith Lever commented that was the bag and that was not the fake. So boom, okay. Shamea, you have been discredited, okay? Okay? You have been discredited. So Porsha was like, well, I'll take the fake bag. Yes, baby, because you can't pay your mortgage, okay? So yeah, you need to compromise all coins that you can, because you can't pay your mortgage, okay? So and then Shamea was like, well, we'll see how this ends. I guess you ain't getting that bag, boo. Anyway, so Porsha, they asked about Britt showing Shamea and Kelly the text messages. Britt was like, Porsha was like, Britt was being malicious, but and she why she told me about the alliance, and that's why she told me about the text messages. And Kelly was like, I ain't see no text messages when me and Shamea met with Britt. I ain't seen no text messages, so we don't know how she got that information. Then they go into Porsha not celebrating Shamea when she got her peach. But Porsha have debunked that rumor also, and she put all online how she did celebrate Porsha. She did celebrate Shamea when she got her peach. So she got receipts too. Okay. Boom. Okay. So it is what it is. Okay. Andy, as the current. Okay, so he asked the current status of Porsha and Shamea's friendship, and it was crickets. Literally crickets. Okay, until Porsha said, there is none. And then Shamea say something else. She say, there is none too. Okay, but nobody wanted to be the first to say goodbye. Nobody wants the first to say goodbye. Yeah, that's Gladys Knight and the Pips. Ashy Gladys Knight and the Pips, but yeah. So no one wants to be the first to say goodbye. Okay, but Porsha said something, and then Shamea automatically said something right after her. Okay, so she said, Porsha was like, because you came on this platform to sabotage me. She said it was a scheme and a plan, and it's a scheme that Todd set up to get into the bullshit. Ain't that right, Bertha? To get in the bullshit. This is a scheme that Todd set up, okay? So then they come back from commercial. Porsha and Shamea going back and forth to the point where I didn't care. I honestly didn't care. So I wasn't listening half of this mess. But I did get to the point where Porsha said, I wasn't part of the alliance, and Shamea said, I tried to make you part of the alliance. So they did have an alliance, and she tried to get Porsha in an alliance. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, Shamea, you a liar too, honey. Why? Oh, let me give you this too. Okay, let me give you that too. You and Phaedra. Okay, and so then Andy was like, "Is this you? Are y'all gonna ever be cool again?" And she was like, "Well, I did wish her a happy birthday, but then she still badmouthed me." And so then Shamea was like, "Well, you talked about my mother," and so she was like, "You talked about her that she did something egregious to your mother." And so she was like, "Yeah, she did do something egregious to my mother." And then Andy was like, "Well, what did she do to your mama?" And that's gonna be on part 3. What she did, what Shamea did to Porsha's mama. Okay, so that was it. Okay, so give me a thumbs up. Like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.